Good morning, this is your Stat Sensei, Mr. Spensei, and this is a exit ticket on residuals, specifically poverty and teenage pregnancy. So use the poverty and teenage pregnancy computer printout and data table on the back of this page to answer the following questions about the percentage of the population living below the poverty line. Show all work. Okay, what was the percentage of living below the poverty line in Texas? So we're looking below the poverty line in Texas, and that means we're interested in this. And we go, oh, percentage below the poverty line, that means that's 17.4. And we're just pulling that right off the table. Okay, based on the number of teenage pregnancies in Texas and the model, what was the percentage of the population is expected to live, what percentage of the population is expected to live in poverty? Okay, so it says the model. Well, we haven't made a model yet. Matter of fact, we need to go back up and look at our regression equation, etc. So first off, the very first thing we need to do is identify our constant. So there's our y-intercept row, and directly below that is our slope row. So from that, we can go ahead and write our regression equation, and our regression equation is going to look like y hat equals 1.1067, because this is the model they're talking about, plus 0.4726, and that's an x. Okay? Now, um, we need to know what our x is. Well, I know that I can look here and to find out that teenage pregnancies is our x. So this is my x, and that makes population and poverty my y. All right, so that's what we're looking for. So we can plug in our x value for Texas, and our x is 38.2. So we're going to plug this in right here, and we'll have y hat, or percent in poverty, equals 1.1067 plus 0.4726. And we're plugging in 38.2. So let's do that real quickly. So 1.1067 plus 0.4726, parenthesis, 38.2, close parenthesis, and we end up getting 19.1%. So the model predicts, or 19.16%. We're expecting 19% to live in poverty. All right, the next thing it asks for is, what is the residual for Texas? Well, remember, residual equals observed minus expected, or some people prefer residual equals actual minus predicted. Well, the actual amount was 17.4%, or that was what we observed. So we're going to say, okay, 17.4 minus what we expected, or what the model predicted, which was 19.16. So 17.4 minus 19.16 gives us a residual of negative 1.76. All right. So that was for Texas, and that's our residual. Remember, it's actual, which was actually 17.4%, minus our predicted, which was 19.16. Now, real quickly, I could have gone stat and gone to edit. Since I could go ahead and enter the data, which I did, Okay, and then I go stat test, linear regression t-test, alpha trace, and I get all this information. Matter of fact, I can sit there and see, hey, that table, there's my t statistic, there's my degrees of freedom, there's my y-intercept, there's my slope, there's standard deviation residual. It gives me all that, but I can go back to stat edit and I can go to the top of L3 and press blue stat, drop down to number 7, and now I have all my residuals, and I can drop all the way down to Texas. Well, Texas was 38.2, so I need to find the 38.2. Here it is. This is the observed. This was the X value. This is what we observed. And this right here is my residual. And we end up with 1.758, which is just rounding difference. And here we have 1.76. So you can see that it could have been done on the calculator, but probably the easiest thing would have been to go through this process right here. All right, I hope this helped, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.